Alright, today is Thursday, August the 8th, 2019, and we have a smithing and silver crafting update, and these redo the interfaces for smithing. I think they've done a great job of keeping it very old school with the look. The next thing is the Hosidius Farm minigame. I'm 99 farming, but I only did this one time. Plants within the farm can now be left clicked or tapped to be watered. Now, I do know that is going to speed things up when you're growing these. Balaga's Blessing is now given in numbers of 10 blessings for 1 point instead of 1 blessings for 2 points. This one is a really nice update. I truly like this because I usually keep at least one ecumenical key in my bank in case I die at God Wars dungeon. So now the Aviantes have a chance of dropping the ecumenical keys, which unless you're doing a task there, you're not going to be killing them. You'll just kill imps. And the drop rate timer is now 1 in 60, which is super nice because before it was like 1 in 60, then it went to like 1 in 80, and then 1 in 100. Now it's 1 in 60 regardless. So you kill a bunch of imps, 1 in 60 chance you are going to get one. So this is going to speed up getting the EQ keys a lot, which is really nice. Some Song of the Elves tweaks. Zalcano symbols now take slightly longer before dealing damage. So those are the symbols on the floor. The damage taken when standing beneath Zalcano after she's been knocked down has been reduced. Now that's nice because that hit really high. It was like a 45 or something like that. And sometimes you just didn't have time to get back. The quick pass option has been removed from the door. You can already quick pass through it just by clicking on it. The falling rocks during Zalcano's encounter now deal damage when hitting the floor rather than the player to be consistent with similar mechanics. Now I noticed sometimes when I would run through these rocks that I wouldn't take any damage, and I thought that was kind of weird. So I kind of figured it was being dealt to the player it was targeted to. Now it's going to take place on everyone, which I think is fair. Zalcano now takes a consistent amount of time to destroy the glowing rock. Sometimes he would be closer to one rock than the others and you wouldn't have any time to run, so you would take a lot of damage. His death animation has now been extended to prevent from reappearing. You only had about 15 seconds for Zalcano to respawn, so you didn't really have time to rebrew and restam. The drops from the golem will now be given to the player who deals the most damage. This is probably the most controversial thing out of all this because the golem, people would get so pissed off because there's a golem in there, and whenever you throw the rocks at it, anyone can pick up the extra rocks that it drops on the ground. Now it's given to the player who deals the most damage, so I'm glad they fixed that because that was causing a lot of fights at Zalcano. It was actually pretty funny. There was a lot of nerds getting really mad. We have some updates to the gauntlet as well, which I think are pretty cool. When creating items within the gauntlet, the interface will remain open provided you have the ingredients. I think that was an issue mainly with like vials. It would close out. It might have been with everything, but I do remember on the vials that you would make one or the teleport crystal and it would exit out of the interface, which takes up a little bit of time. Killing a duplicate tier 3 creature within the gauntlet will now have a guaranteed chance to drop a different powerful weapon component provided you don't already have one. Before it was a half chance. Now this is super nice because you can now upgrade 2 different weapon types. The scoreboard in the gauntlet lobby has been extended to display your deaths and global deaths for each version of the gauntlets, which is pretty nice if you're one of those kind of people that likes to keep up with that, or it's just something fun to check out. Crystal weapons and shields with 2,500 charges or brand new ones will now stack in the bank. And I noticed whenever I got my crystal halberds out and my bows that they weren't stacking, and I thought they said that was going to be an update, so it's nice to see they're doing that now. The gauntlet competition is finished, and of course we have Wooks with the corrupted gauntlet at 445. That's no surprise to anyone. Congratulations, Wooks. You definitely deserve it. I've only seen you in game once playing the Theater of Blood when it was released, but that was pretty cool. I'm going to briefly run over Adventure Pass. This is something that I think is okay. I'm glad that they took the time to really think it through and implement it correctly. They're testing it out now with new players. If you're an Iron Man, this won't be available, but if you're making a new account now, they have some tasks for some very minimal rewards. It's just going to help new players get started, and we all remember how grindy it was and how difficult things were in the beginning. So if someone does choose to take on one of these tasks, the maximum loot that they're going to get is like 10 or 15k worth of, just items. It looks like weapons, maybe arrows, probably between iron, steel, things of that nature. Other than that, RuneFest is coming up, and it looks like they have some personalized shirts here that you can get. That's pretty cool. There's some new Angelscape merch out. As you guys know, I have an Angelscape keychain myself. Those are pretty cool. Looks like they got the crystal bow and the crystal halberd, which looks a little whack to me. I guess that's a crystal halberd. PvP Roto World is switching over to period B. Now this one I think is a little controversial to me because the Shallow Village shortcut has now been changed to medium. I still kind of think that should be an elite thing, but I guess it's going to help out Ironman, so it's really not a big deal, but it'll definitely help you get your slower tasks faster. Alright, let's get on to the Runelite news. Looks like we have some news for Song of the Elves issues. Divine Potion timers. I think that was going to be a given. That was going to be added. Zalcano respawn timer to the boss plugin. That's actually been implemented for a few days now. Proof farming patches have now been added. Guys, if you do not have 99 farming, now is the time to do it because they have added so many farming patches to the game. It's insane. I can understand the tree, but the farming patches, there's just so many. The Gauntlet kill count has now been added to chat command. The agility course has now been added to the KC. Updates to the world map. Song of the Elves quest start. They've added the rare tree, transportation, and shortcut tooltips. They've added the minigame icon to the Gauntlet. Proof agility course has been added to the plugin. Proof mining rocks to the mining plugin. That's really nice for the rune ores. They've added the Gauntlet and Proof crystal chest to the loot tracking plugin. That's going to be nice for people who are running those. They've added the crystal axe to the wood cutting plugin and wintertop plugin. The crystal pickaxe to the motherlode mine. And the crystal implings to the impling plugin. That's all your latest Runelite news, guys, and your news from Old School Runescape. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.